Good day, good day, good day. Hey guys, welcome everyone. Give me 1 second here while we start things up. I usually like it in reverse. I like myself on the right. You're the first speaker. Let's see. Remove, add. There we go. There we go. Okay, I added that.
Oh yeah,
Let people
perfect.
know. Okay, and I'll switch it up. All right, I think we are at 4:01 p.m. my time and 6:01 your time over on the East Coast. All right, guys. Make sure we're online and we are golden. Um, so guys, thank you. Thank you for everyone that keeps joining these and over in YouTube land, especially in Facebook land. And thank you especially to all of the Zoom live members here for joining us every single week. We love seeing your lovely faces and having you join our live stream. So if you are over in Facebook and YouTube, please, please, please go ahead and subscribe, like, share. Share this out to friends and family who you think will benefit. So if you are not keen to what we are doing here every single week, if this doesn't say it all right there, we hold a coherence meditation every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Our main YouTube channel is Cosmic Gaia Community, which is the QR code over there on right there on the right there, YouTube. So click your phone, get your phone camera, and just go ahead and aim it at that. It'll take you right over to the YouTube page. And then over here on the left, that is the link for finding out our Zoom live stream URL that we would love to have you join over here instead of our restreamed YouTube and Facebook channels over there. And let's see, we got that out of the way, and you can also go over to that link right there to sign up for our newsletter. Which I remind everybody, last week there are some very cool 2024 things that are happening, and we're kicking things off right here. So we've got a lot of things planned, both with FreedomSnap and Cosmic Gaia Community, and Seth and Laura, and a lot of cool stuff, guys. So please go over to that link and sign up for the email newsletter, and we'll keep you in tune with everything that we're doing. So, quick little blurb on our format for our weekly coherence meditations. We have about first 10, 15 minutes of the intro and a brief discussion. As we actually begin the coherence meditation, you might notice we may drop off prematurely at the end. And that's basically to allow you to stay deep in your meditation if you so deem so. And of course, you can always drop off, at the end if you want to just go off on your own as well. And we do encourage everyone to do the coherence meditations as a daily practice. Just take a little time out of your day. It certainly helps me. I do a lot of chaotic things throughout the day in my IT consulting profession. So it's I'm glad we started these things back
Chaotic
up.
is actually a perfect word, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that
It's
was what is that one book? Lee D or D Hancock, I think it was. But he coined the phrase chaotic. And he was I
oh,
guess like the president of Visa. And one of his things was, he never really like going in on the micromanagement and everything else. So he would have a team together and he would approach it in a very chaotic fashion. So
it's like
yeah,
a mix
so
of chaotic. It's like artery heart with chaos.
exactly. I got the book. I got it like 2 years ago, and
That's
I meant
funny.
I meant to read it. So
Yeah.
all right, guys. So anyway, last week's coherence meditation was for the beginning of 2024. It was titled "Embark on a New Journey" with tonight's meditation. So welcome to 2024. Today, in this coherence meditation, we have title of Unity in Action. Join us for a powerful meditation on balancing and healing. So it sounded like you had a lot of, a couple different topics in there, Seth. So
Yeah, people have been reaching out wanting to. I mean, we hear everything, right? I have so many people that reach out every day, and I love the idea, and Greg and I have talked about this, but the idea of like really helping to try to do as many of these as possible. And if a bunch of people are making like a similar kind of request, but not exactly. We can take it all together and tie it in and make something that all of us can use over and over. Me too. I do these meditations after they're done. I love them because it's
Awesome.
timeless, right? So
Absolutely.
tonight, have your water. If you don't already, bring water or juice or anything that is liquid or filled with water. Caffeinated sodas, not so much. We don't go down that road. So yeah, tonight it seems simple, right? We have these cravings for food, for most of the food that so many of us eat now has been processed for generations, and our bodies weren't made to adapt so quickly like that, or so we've been told. And on top of all the processed food and the cravings and everything that's happening, we become addicted to all of this. And the body, which is, it's used to doing things in its own way. And then all of a sudden you're getting hammered with airwaves, just so many different invisible frequencies that are, who knows what it's doing to us. Our bodies, this is really all new because just in the past few generations, they didn't have this level of microwave, EMF, much less processed food and all of that. So, but let's call out the real culprit here. Yeah, all that stuff is going on. And it's very easy when you are afraid or you don't know to point your finger at somebody or something that's preventing you from being able to move forward through it, to unlock the body's potential to just adapt at light speed. Because even though everything's energy and we know that everywhere, again, we've mentioned this 100 times during these meditations, is yeah, okay, they are putting out a lot of strong frequency, but we, including them, we have much greater frequency than what they're doing times infinity. We can literally be so aware of life that our entire energy field expands outward, and you can let it expand outward as far as you want to take it. And the more you do that, just like we've talked about, all these different energies come in and support us, our efforts, what we're doing. But let's call it out like it is. Everybody who's grown up in a Western world, which is most of us really, without blaming anybody, our entire sense of self, who we think we are, is literally little tiny habits that have built up over the course of our lifetime that at some point we normalize because it's our most predominant experience. And that person, I'll use myself for an example, Seth, becomes a great consumer. Seth has all these problems that he ties in with all these products for sale, but we're not going to blame them because, well, okay, Greg, do you remember, did you ever hear the thing? Everyone's like, oh, we only use 10% of our brains. Have you ever heard that in
Absolutely.
your life?
Absolutely.
And probably most people have. And of course, that's not true. We actually use way more of our brain. But what is true is that all of science now publicly knows less than 10% of how the brain works. That's them admitting it. So even if we're using all of our brain and there's a flood that's just like me having this thought and speaking and the way everything is coherent and working together, it produces a level of neurons that's so, so powerful, like a lightning storm of neural activity, all just we are energy. And you know what? If we're not blaming anybody, we just weren't taught how to be everything. That's it. I'm not going to point fingers. We have grown up in a world that teaches us to focus on who we think we are. And the outcome of that is we get stuck in our prefrontal cortex, stuck in the imagined future or the remembered past, making our moment to moment experience of reality, the now, a product of fear based or just very simple based perception. And every single one of us has something that no one's really ever taught us to use, and that is our quantum self, our God self, our whatever you want to call that, which is everything. That is us. That is you. That is me. That is everything. And the more we just let who we think we are go away and we start building a habit of what we are, who we are gets influenced by what we are. And that not only opens up your ability to use your energy and your attention to influence you in a healthy way, but when we send signals like that out into infinity, they are heard, they are received. So, tonight, what does that have to do with tonight's meditation? Essentially, it's this: throughout the course of our life, we have learned whatever it is the world offered, we've learned it, and we've formed behaviors, thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, actions. We've formed all these little tiny habits that we come to accept as self. And most of those habits weren't really ours. We just think they are. And so when we realize that most of who we think we are is just a programmed set of beliefs, behaviors, and actions that equal to the person we think we are, and we're only functioning on like a very low amount of what we have the potential to function with. When we do that, all of this comes back. You remember, you wake up, you literally move beyond who you think you are. You make a sacrificial end to this person that was stuck in all these different systems of the past. And we literally create ourselves in the version of what we know to be possible. And we have all the support times infinity to do that. And on a day to day level, those are habits. And I'll say one more thing before we see if anybody wants to mention anything. But a phenomenon I've been watching lately is I have this little kitty, Venus. She was actually just sitting here. She's like a puppy dog, literally loyal as can be. And I watch human behavior, I watch animal behavior. I just pay attention to all of it because it's all signals of energy and information exemplifying certain things that can allow us to tune in a little bit deeper to what our potential is. But what I've watched with my kitty, Venus, she has a bunch of habits. She'll literally form a habit, like as simple as, oh, we wake up in the morning at the same time and I give her a little food. She expects that. It's in her habit. But then I started doing this thing where I was exercising and there's like a little bowl that wasn't being used and she was down there with me. And so I put the bowl down. I just poured a little bit of water from my bottle and she just loved it. It turned into this like little thing where she was right into it. And if I don't go downstairs and do that and give her water in my gym, she gets weirded out. She's like, come on. She's waiting by the door. She's like, ready. Like, come on, we're going to go down there. You can give me water. She moves to all these different spots. And here's what's really interesting about it is she creates a habit, but then she outlives the habit and she creates new habits. So here we are, her and I hanging out, and I realize she's really good at creating habits and moving beyond them. And the more I watch this, the more fascinating it becomes because she's a kitty, right? She probably doesn't, even if she knew everything that was happening in the world, she wouldn't really care, because if everything came crashing down, she could go out the door and live or not. Maybe she'd get eaten. But nature is what we are. We are nature. We have an inner nature. And to the degree that we become conscious of that and form all kinds of different habits of connecting to it, the more these little past behavioral trends that we've accepted as normal begin to just dissipate and go away, because the power we're creating through the coherence of our being just pushes it away. And then when we get in touch with our own inner nature, nature comes and gets in touch with us. And that's when we begin to create habits that we're passionate about, that we love. So if anybody has anything you want to share, I'll just stop now. There's like a trillion things I want to say, but I'm not gonna, because it'll just come out when we do the meditation. But if anybody has anything they want to ask or share, sitting next to this huge crystal that I found.
That is pretty cool.
Oh my
Anybody,
God.
just go ahead and feel free to unmute if you want to chime in. But yeah, dude, I can seriously, I can go on and on for a lot of things that you just said. But the when you said 10% of the brains, you've seen the movie Lucy, right?
Yeah.
And
What's her
you've
name
seen,
again in that?
I don't know, dude. But you know what? I don't want to correlate
Yeah. No, go ahead. You're
the
right.
graphene oxide or anything,
The
to that
black
movie
goo.
or
Yeah.
anything, because I've seen some recent YouTube videos that came out on that graphene and graphite and all that stuff, But also the other movie Limitless, where he's popping in the pills, make them all smarter and everything, right? You know, but energy, vibration, frequency, So where's I going with that? So yeah, I mean, we develop like all those beliefs and everything else, and like we get them from somewhere, right? And this also goes into kind of like the little tangent on um, the theory of everything. Dan Winter as well as Thomas Campbell. We're in a simulation with the computer. We could basically, you know, treat our simulation as a computer, and we can program our own reality. Very cool stuff. But yeah, it made me think when you said that. So anybody, feel free to chime in, unmute yourself. But I got my water. Yeah, you know what? Speaking of energy, frequency, and vibration, I mentioned this before, but I actually have two hockey pucks for speakers. And what I do is I find some frequencies out there, and there are so many out on YouTube that you could just download a frequency, or you could put it in a YouTube playlist or something. I just connect my Bluetooth right up to these during our coherence meditations, and it gives me a nice frequencies in the background, and I get pretty deep with those.
That's great. I remember you got him. So overall, you've like really loved it, or works great for you?
Yeah, I use them every week. Well,
Nice.
should say every day, every other day, but particularly here every week. Absolutely,
Right. Well,
pretty cool.
and even like we've said before, our voice, right? You just you do different vowels. You inhale, you do different vowels, and you just feel that vibration of the sound resonate through all the chambers of your body, and it's having an effect. And so, all right, before we start to do this, I just want to emphasize something here, which is habit, the power of habits. Long after this meditation's done, when you wake up tomorrow, just pay close attention to your own behavior. Really be honest and pay attention, and you'll pick up these subtle clues of like, why do I do that? Or why do I feel that way? Or why do I associate a certain activity with memories or fears or you can catch yourself doing all kinds of things that just seem normal, but that are actually habits that you can outgrow. And it's in that process of outgrowing that we come back to who we have the potential to be, in a body that can adapt at quantum speed to all of these changes, all of these different foods and everything that's happening in the world is like testing our immunity, and we can make immunity by habits. So let's do that now. Just totally relax. Take a few breaths. And as you exhale on your breaths, just relax your body. So you're inhaling, and then on the exhale, you're relaxing more. So as you relax deeper on the exhale, when you do an inhale breath, smile from the heart. Most all of you know that by now. So as you're inhaling, you're letting the feeling of your smile get lit up by your awareness. So as you're inhaling, you're feeling that smile in your heart. And as you exhale, you're relaxing more. So we're creating two different polarities of behavior, and we're balance every bit of it out. So as we're inhaling, we're feeling that energy and we're waking up to it. And waking up to it means that we can really turn that energy on from the inside and generate the feelings that we want to feel. And at your own pace, as you're breathing, just relax. And now, instead of just relaxing your body, focus in a little bit more on your nervous system, or the energy that is in your body that feels like maybe it's kind of wonky, or maybe it's something like creating a little nervous tick, or we feel something in our body that doesn't feel quite right, but that through relaxing, we can change it. So you're smiling, huge feelings like the sun. You're exhaling and you're relaxing deeper and deeper. And anything in your body that feels energy based, like a knot in your stomach, like some emotional trauma or drama that we all get involved in every day, if we're being honest. Just see if you can feel any non-physical ailments or energies in your body, and relax that part of you. And as you do this more and more, I want to encourage you to set an internal reminder that you are in the process of creating a habit out of what we just shared. Remind yourself that you can literally create a habit of breathing in with a smile and breathing out as you relax. That's it. It's that simple. And so if you set a little reminder to remind yourself to do it intentionally during your day or incidentally, where something happens, you go into a fight or flight response, and then you catch that you were because it wasn't a serious thing. It was just some drama or intensity. So you're making reminders that you're going to focus on observing your breathing, feeling the smile on an inhale, and relaxing deeper on an exhale. So make the commitment, set that little reminder so that you have put it in your calendar book of life. That in addition to all of the other habits you have, you're adding this one to it. Let's say you choose 5 times a day to focus on this, even if it's only 3 to 5 minutes at a time. Consistency of you choosing to focus on such a simple breathing technique that is incredibly therapeutic. And you do that every day. And notice what happens after only a week. 3 minutes a day for each session, 5 to 7 times spread out across the day, and commit to the consistency, even if it's only 3 times a day. And you know what? You can put it in your phone or your watch or any kind of calendar system that you use. You can remind yourself through your calendar to build this up. Short sessions, but consistent. And so after a week, you'll say, wow, I actually feel better. And it'll pique your interest. And then you'll say, well, let's do it for 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, a decade. You know where I'm going. Infinity. You are programming initiation with the most important relationship of everybody's life, and that is your support of this animating principle. You are this unbelievably infinite source of power that is genius, intelligent times forever. And it is allowing you to be here. The person that the world taught us that we are, with all the little habits that we picked up along the way. We're actually embracing that. Because if the world didn't teach us what we know is possible, then we can remind ourselves to tune into this energy in our being, animating our being, causing infinite amounts of all different complex systems of the body that just in somebody's brain alone, all public collective intelligence only knows less than 10%. And so if science openly admits that it knows less than 10% of the brain that is in every one of our heads, there's something that science also doesn't really know. Or if they do, they're not speaking publicly about it. And that is that these bodies are the most precisely tuned instruments to become aware of countless frequencies, energies, dimensions. It creates the type of experience where even if science doesn't know what it is, even if it falls into that less than knowing 10% of the brain, by you getting into states of being, smiling on the inhale, relaxing on the exhale, you are creating habits that you intend to carry the rest of your life, however short or long that is. And once you begin to experience the fruits of your effort, the fruits meaning there literally is a tree of neural network and programming running throughout our entire body. And by breaking out of the prison of the prefrontal cortex, who we think we are, becoming conscious of what we are through all these roots, stems, leaves, branches, through your habit of feeling love because you are choosing to. And so feeling love on the inhale and relaxing deeper on the exhale, that allows you to become so much more aware of this tree of neural synaptic connection, invigoration, growth, blooming, and the fruit of being conscious of all of this, which is the ability to transcend personal and collective blocks, the fruits of you learning that just by attuning yourself to nature and your own inner nature, you are opening up your ability as the most finely tuned system that we currently know of, which is our body and our awareness of it. The more we work to water this tree of life that we are, to give nutrients to. And as we get more coherent over time, you start becoming so much more aware of this energy field that you are. And the more aware of it you become, the more discerning you get about what you put into your body for nourishment. And in a relatively short amount of time, you can get so in tune with your energy field that you can hold a piece of food in your hand. And when you tune into your energy field, you will get an expansion or a contraction. And if that food isn't really what this tree of self needs for nourishment, you just put it down. And so the more you create a habit of inhaling with love, self-love that you turn on like a switch from your smile, and deeper relaxation in your physical body, that creates a marriage of metaphysical energies interwoven and connected together, branching out through all the different parts of this body. Arms like branches, energy field coming off the entire top of your body like leaves, like flowers, and your feet and your toes and your legs, the roots inside of the ground. The more in tune you choose to allow yourself to grow by water that you put into your heart, which really can just be as simple as acknowledging you feel gratitude for it before you consume it. the more you nurture water, the better your breathing is, which is the oxygen, the carbon. It's the breeze that helps the tree get stronger. It allows the tree to breathe on its own with your conscious input. And just by doing this for a little while, short sessions, but done consistently, you begin to open up potentials in your energy field that just by your consistent interaction with these intentions, they naturally begin to purge you on every level of your being and pushing out all the stuff that you, just like this tree, are outgrowing. The tree is feeling so much vitality in its trunk, in its core. It's taking all these nutrients, all of this water, and it is circulating itself out through every part of it. And as this tree works in harmony with itself, so too do you as this tree. And as you keep doing this, you will be so grateful. You will feel so nourished, like you are the steward of something so intelligent. So when you become a steward of this energy in your body, when you make a habit of taking care of it, this innate intelligence, quantum field, the mind of God, the heart and mind of everything. When you nourish yourself, this energy notices instantly. And the more that you carve out brief little breaks throughout the day, the more you are paying attention to this energy, this miracle that we all are and that everything else is. And so the more attention you give to what was always right there, it remunerates you. It is reciprocal. It knows when you are giving it attention because it is you and you are it. And it is nothing and everything all at the same time. And so, as you are the steward of this tree of life inside of you, and as you become conscious of your own inner nature, and how your inner nature reacts and responds through all the different signals that your body is sending to it. The better you get at doing that, and the more consistent of it you are, the more attention you give to what you really are, to the most important relationship of all of our lives, the more that nature nourishes us, protects us, gives us the ability to adapt, to move things that wouldn't seem possible, but that begin to come into view because it all is a miracle. And through this finely tuned instrument of self awareness embodying a form, this is the real habit. When you intentionally connect to what has always been right there and always will be, and you do it consistently, that intelligence is able to protect you at whatever capacity you need, and maybe even what you want, but always there regardless. And so the better you get of making a habit to love your life, to feel your smile on an inhale, to relax deeply as you exhale. It is this simple, and yet it requires consistency. But it is so worth it. It's probably the only thing that truly is worth anything. And the more you nurture, the more you be a steward of life force animating a being, the more you take care of that, the more you will be taken care of. And you'll notice that this is a skill that you can get really good at by prioritizing and enacting simple exercises. And when something happens and you notice that it came from your deeper experience of life, from your own inner nature becoming balanced, when you feel that or become aware of some instance or some serendipitous, beautiful person, place, or thing, or something that happens in your life, you're able to make a correlation of how your little habits practice consistently whenever it's in your flow, whenever you choose to put it into your flow. Or if you have been stuck in so much chaos for so long, you might be ready to completely surrender all the parts of who you think you are. Literally letting your old personality die while you are alive so that you can become an expression of what all these elements we have shared here tonight. You literally become the person you always knew was there. Your health, your vitality, your creativity, all of this starts to come together, and you literally start to love life naturally. So you keep turning on self-love just like a switch, smiling on your face and feeling it in your heart. And you keep turning that switch on or off, or leave it on or shut it off. And after a while, when you have gotten so good at creating self love for you, your thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, actions, you have conditioned yourself to love yourself. Unconditional love, including all the things that you don't like or love about yourself. And as you continue to be a steward of it, as your perceptive awareness becomes more fine-tuned to all of these perplexingly beautiful connections that cross space and time in epic proportion. When you love yourself consistently, at some point, you feel how much life loves you loving it. And it lets you know in ways that are, it allows you to know and experience how all of your self-love turns into universal, divine loving you back because you love it and you've made a habit. And anytime you feel cravings or you're hungry and you're ready to eat something you know that your energy field is denying, the more you choose to unconditionally love life, the more it loves you back, and the easier it becomes to outgrow all of these behaviors we picked up along the way. And even if it's consistent, just a couple minutes even, but done 10 times a day, even if it's really short like that, but done many times, bring the quality or the love or the ability to enjoy the process. It's not work. And if it was, it is a labor of love. It is the habit that will introduce you to the new types of habits that we are all becoming aware that we have the ability to create and unleash and to trust this force of nature that is wild and miraculous. At some point in all of this, those old behaviors just don't really have anywhere to live in you because you're conscious throughout the entire tree of your being. You aren't just in the front of your brain. You are simultaneously existing through every cell in your body, head to toe. And you, by your practice, you start to become more and more aware of how connected you always have been. And then suddenly you are in your body. You are consciously able to dwell, to look at, to look in, to begin to start having the experience of what it feels like to be everywhere in your body at the same time, so that this little person that the world accidentally taught us to get stuck in the front of our brain. Maybe it wasn't an accident. Maybe everything in our lives is exactly where it needs to be. And to the degree that we choose what we're going to do with that life, that is growth. That is freedom. And that is a network of individuals connecting on all these levels, individually and together. So you're still totally relaxed. You're inhaling with smile, with the feeling of whatever that smile creates. And you are now more aware of the experience of dwelling everywhere in your body at the same time. This tree of life is growing harmoniously with you, your personality, your identity, your ego. there is mutual benefit for all of those ideas. When that little part of who we think we are starts to become intermeshed with what we are, we break all the barriers of time and space. When we intentionally choose to get so good at being in our entire body, almost like there's a holographic overlay of it in your awareness. Who you are is exactly in tune with what you are. You just only needed to make a habit of reconnecting. Super, super exciting time to be alive. Lots of karmic stuff that's very difficult to deal with. Lots of great expansions. New possibility for those who know they have always been infinite possibility. And how all of the extremes of polarity in this world start becoming balanced by you intentionally balancing these polarities inside. The force of nature becomes the force of you. When you've got what you truly are, moving who you are, because it's all interwoven together. And that all it was needed is just for you to become aware of it. That should be inspiration. Tell yourself, remind yourself that you are absolutely connected to everything. And the only thing that was in the way was just that you had to prove to yourself by consistently becoming aware of what was always there, what you are, and allow you to remember what you are and how related you become. Let every part of you that has formed in this world be fully embraced by what you are, this energy, this miracle. Smile deeply. Let yourself feel that smile. And as you feel that smile that you're choosing to put on your face, and you're relaxed, your body's relaxed, your awareness is bright. There's parts of you that are inspired by your choice of choosing to be with what you are. And through all of this, feel your heartbeat in your chest. If maybe you have to calm down a little bit more, or whatever it takes. Just let yourself feel your heartbeat. And when you can feel your heart beating in your chest, let the tree of your awareness see if you can feel your heart beat rippling through your entire body, around it, on the surface of it, inside all of it. If you can feel your heart beat in your chest, you can feel it in a single cell anywhere in your body. And that is you acknowledging, giving attention to, and creating a healthy relationship with life. And if you're able to feel your heartbeat creating like a pulse, see if you can feel it in and around your entire being. Like with every beat, it's sending and receiving signals. And it's doing that anyway. And so if it's doing that anyway, and you're focusing on cravings or addiction, or all the things that over time we pretty unintentionally created because we didn't know something way better was available. Now we know. We know, and we can keep deepening that knowing. And if you can feel your heartbeat, you can feel it pulsing in and around your entire being without opening your eyes. See if you can feel that pulse either affecting the water you brought, or if you can let yourself feel your pulse in the actual water. Either way, if you're feeling your own energy field, and as that energy pulses, your water becomes enmeshed by this. And if you can get really good at feeling that, that opens up the ability to feel your pulse directly inside of your water. And at whatever pace you are ready, to be able to feel that in everything around you, especially in the natural world. And you have every right to create a habit like this and be the example of that habit, whether anybody or anything has a problem or an issue of you selfishly being selfless. That's not your problem. You can be at complete peace no matter who or what thinks anything in response to you. You just don't care because you are in harmony with what really is important. We're going to come to an end for now, even though it doesn't ever end. But as you're feeling your whole body pulsing and your water that is affected by this pulsation, whether it's around your body or in the container of water, just remind yourself, put this intention into your water to make a habit of spending quality time every day, consistently throughout the day, but with quality, meaning you're really relaxing. You're really feeling the nature of your heartbeat. So let that water have that intention in it and pour some of it into another container of water so that you have more to drink. But just do this intentionally. And as you know, you also are the water. So as you shed all the old programs, thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, action, by being a loving steward of your being, you are naturally outgrowing all of that stuff. Even if it seems like you're alone, just remind yourself that you're not. I'm always sending love to everybody we are doing this with. And even if by chance somebody's giving me a hard time about anything, that's a reminder for me to tune in a little bit more. And so, in this way, you begin to embrace uncomfortable situations because you are becoming so confident on a body and being and a self that is balanced. And for everybody who wants to stay in this state, just hang up. And for those who feel ready, they've set the reminder that they're going to do this. Just let that reminder be in you. Allow that pulsation, that feeling of energy, let it pulsate through your being. Whether you are wide awake or deep asleep, you can attune yourself to this habit so that it becomes your nature. So take your hands together, create some heat, some friction, and then put your palms of your hands over your eyes. When you're ready, come back. All right. Thank you, Greg, as always, for keeping it all together. Grandpa Bill, I see you. I love you so much. Please like, love, tag, share this with others. We're going to get into other stuff soon. I've been researching, and the amount of true studies that validate the power of even just a few individuals coming together. There's hundreds of studies of how doing this affects cities, countries in a beautiful way. So we'll get into that soon.
And over on YouTube, Roaring Cat got a new heart math sensor today. I'd be interested to know how that worked out for you. So thank you, everyone. If you do have topics, please write them in the description um, for the recording down below. Try to work those in. Thank you so much, Seth. Thank you, everyone, for joining,
See you guys soon.
and see you next week.